All right. Okay, Austin, you have the floor, sir.
Well, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. I apologize. I'm rushing back from court to get to the office, so I probably shouldn't be doing this on the phone in the car, but I am. So, yeah, I kind of have an interesting scenario that came up about a month ago. Our clients, they're traveling nurses looking to buy a home. And so something very important for them was that they be able to rent their property, for like 3 months at a time while they were traveling. So the agents, each place they're looking at is, hey, is this allowed? Is this going to be an issue? So they found a property that they were interested in putting in a contract on. Obviously, wanted to make sure that, hey, is this okay? Got some emails, text exchange with the listing agent that yeah, no restrictions. This property is they're going to be able to rent this, no problem at all. So they go ahead and make a contract on it, right? Everything sounds good. We've got that from the agent. So couple weeks, the disclosure packet comes back from the association, and lo and behold, turns out there are renting restrictions on the association. So, all right, well, maybe that's not a big deal. So the agent reaches out to the listing agent, puts us in contact with the president of the association, and president says, "Hey, absolutely, this is no problem at all. The board has voted." They send out an email, and it sounded great, actually. This is, we've agreed. Here's the members of the board, the meeting that took place. This is not going to be an issue. So your clients are going to be able to rent this property, and this is my last official act as president of the association. And so he sends an email to somebody else, copying us on it. Hey, go ahead and formalize this process, make the change to the bylaw so that we can allow these gals to rent out their property. Sounds great, right? So, of course, wanting to do the due diligence. So, okay, well, let's just follow up and find out. So, reached out to the person that the president put us in touch with and say, hey, I understand you got the email from the outgoing president. The bylaws haven't been changed, but what's the status? I mean, it sounds like the steps are in place to go ahead and amend these bylaws so that they're not going to have any issues renting this property. Get an email back from the attorney for the association who says, hey, no, in fact, the bylaws are X, and they're not going to be allowed to rent this property unless the board decides to go ahead and amend the bylaws. I'm following up with them now to see if they're agreeable to taking the steps to make those changes. So get an email again another day or so later from the attorney who says, no, the board has decided they are not going to amend the bylaws and allow for short-term rentals. So, leases are limited to a year and have to be submitted to the board, yada, yada, yada. So, of course, that, puts us in a situation with these clients. Their closing date was quickly approaching, may have even been extended by that point. And fortunately, we were able to basically get them a release, get their deposit back. And it helped. I got an email from the attorney on the other side. We demand that they close. They are past their contingency date. To which we responded, pretty firmly, and fortunately worked out to where they were able to get out. But so I think takeaways for a situation like that, and anytime you have something that is very important for your clients as far as being able to use property, if they've got a particular purpose of the property. And so this can be applicable to folks that want to rent their property for short term, or maybe they want to develop it in some way, or build on it, or add something to it. We've had scenarios in the past where folks, it's their dream to put in a barn or some, you know, big man cave or something in the back yard, put in a pool. You know, those would be things, you know, if you're hearing those things as the process and looking for a home as it goes along, you want to make note of those and make sure that you're keying in and doing something to verify that those actions are going to be able to be taken, and not just relying on what a listing agent tells you. So that was a saving grace for us, and this is that we had written communications from the listing agent, who is, you know, the agent on behalf of the owner. And so part of the, you know, the argument we were making to them is, hey, these are misrepresentations, even though he may have been in good faith, and it seemed like he was, you know, given the emails from the president. But at the end of the day, those are still misrepresentations, even if he was mistaken. So you can't rely on those, though. That goes to show you, you know, just because you got a statement from somebody in authority, certainly not the seller, but you know, from a president and an association, you think, oh, okay, this sounds good. Maybe we're going to be able to do this. You can't rely on that. You're going to have to see what's in the, you know, the recorded documents. If it's in an association, what's in the bylaws, what's in the declaration. If it's in a neighborhood, what's in the restrictions? Oftentimes you've got neighborhoods that even, you know, aren't necessarily in an association, but they are part of, you know, a community that was all built and developed around the same time frame by the same developer, maybe. And they put these restrictions in place, covenants that run with the land. And even though there may not be an association that is tasked with enforcing those things, you know, other homeowners are in many instances still given the ability to enforce those covenants. And so, you know, the obvious things like, you you can't put pigs and livestock in the backyard. I mean, those are obvious ones, but sometimes it's, you know, you can't build something bigger than this, or you can't add this sort of thing to the backyard. So, you know, making sure that there's appropriate contingencies in place to allow for the proper research and remedy of those items if it turns out there is something in place. You know, you'd want to be able to put something like that in the contract to say that, hey, closing is contingent upon you know, confirmation that the property will be able to be rented short term. Obviously, the practical difficulties and adding contingencies to contracts nowadays, you know, that may or may not be something that is possible. But and that's when you have that conversation with the client too. Okay, well, hey, I understand that you want to be able to use the property for X, and we can put in the contract that it's going to be contingent upon being able to use the property for X. But, you know, that may cause our offer to be, you know, if weighed against another offer, they may go with the other one because of this contingency. And so you at least present the offer to the client. And if they decide, yeah, hey, let's, you know, and let them choose, you know, if they ultimately decide, hey, let's make our offer the most valuable, then obviously certainly communicate with us or whoever you're using to close the contract, that this is the goal, and that way we can you know, hopefully investigate it and take the steps needed to ensure that they're going to be able to use the property for that desired use, would be a good thing. So yeah, adding contingencies, do your homework, and don't take anybody's word for it, or kind of the big takeaways from that situation. And then I was going to talk briefly about subject to deals. We've got a lot of those that have been coming up. But did anybody have any questions about kind of that situation or something like that may have been triggered?
Anybody have any questions in here? No. Online,
No?
if you have questions, just put it in the chat. You can also
Yeah.
raise your hand. It'll chime if you raise your hand.
Cool.
If you have any questions. Nothing in the chat, Austin, so you're doing pretty good.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I'll just push ahead then to, you know, we're seeing now with, you know, interest rates being what they are, a lot of folks that are pursuing the assumption route, and then kind of subject to scenarios where, you know, one way or another, basically leaving the seller's mortgage in place. You know, of those two options, the difference is obviously the assumption is when you've got the new buyer that is agreeing to step into the shoes of the seller, assume that mortgage and assume responsibility for it, to be personally obligated on it and essentially indemnify the seller from any claims under it or through it. So those are going to be often the best case scenarios for sellers, and usually in a VA context. That's what we're seeing mostly. You've got a VA loan with a 2.75 interest rate, and then a buyer, obviously, with their own VA eligibility, wants to step in the shoes, take over that loan. The assumption process is very, very slow. Typically 60 to 90 days. And we've seen the full spectrum on, the different types of lenders. Some lenders are very specific. This is what we want. Here's the process. Here's the packet of information. A brand new loan packet is issued. And then all the way to the other end of the spectrum, which is they seem to be figuring out as we go along. The one we just had where they wanted to communicate with the buyers the whole time. We represented the sellers. They just sent the packet of information to the buyers. Okay, go ahead and get this signed, send it back to us, and so we were having to kind of coach them along on how this thing needs to go. So those scenarios are going to be the best for the seller. Not as great for the buyer from a risk standpoint. Obviously, they're obligated alone as compared to a subject to context, which is when sort of the same thing. The seller's mortgage stays in place, but the buyer is not agreeing to assume responsibility for it. They're not putting their name on it. They're not, in many instances, they're not even wanting the lender to be aware that the property has been sold. We've seen this recently where, a situation, the sellers bought, and it wasn't that long ago that they purchased. And there's just simply not enough money there in the value of the home to pay the mortgage, pay the agents, and sell the property. So we're seeing sellers that are in a situation where this is really the only choice for them to sell this property is to allow the buyer to assume their loan, or not to assume it, to take the property subject to and leave their mortgage in place. Obviously, there's huge risks with that, and that's something that we'd want to have the conversation with the seller to make sure that they're aware of these risks. That your mortgage is going to remain on the property. You want to make sure there's a time frame on there. Oftentimes, folks don't get that, or they don't really see that. Okay, that for however many years, and the one that we're working on now, it's 7 years. 7 years, their loan is going to remain on this property while the buyer, rents it out. They may try to sell it again to somebody else. And with a mortgage that remains in place like that, if you're not showing rental income, then that is just a pure debt. And so that's going to hinder your ability to be able to buy a home in the future, basically, to be able to get another mortgage. If you've got this mortgage in place and it's being paid, hopefully, but you have nothing to show for it for your credit. You're not going to be able to deduct the taxes, the mortgage interest from your taxes. I mean, basically, you're giving all of that away to the buyer. And and I just saw the thing there. I mean, if it's a VA loan, then right, your entitlement, if it's not being substituted by the buyer's entitlement, it is just stuck. So yeah, you're really hindered there to go forward. So all sorts of risks on that. I mean, this contract was just heavily in favor of the buyer. So we were able to kind of push back on things. Hey, let's make some changes here. We want to have a pocket deed in place, basically, that if the buyer defaults, we don't want to have the seller have to resort to foreclosing on the property to get it back. Not only are they going to get back a property that's probably not in great shape, but then they're in arrears on the mortgage for however many long. They may not be able to catch it up. They may end up getting foreclosed on themselves. So at least with a pocket deed, that's something that basically the buyer signs now saying, okay, they agree that they convey title back to the seller, and it's held in escrow by, either us as the seller's attorney or the buyer's attorney. And it's only going to be recorded in the event of a default. So that's a little added protection. We were able to get some of that stuff added to the contract.
So we do have a question. Jen Williams said, so sellers lose their Virginia entitlement. when their mortgage is assumed?
Yes.
I know the answer to that, but I would like-
No. So in the assumption,
Yeah.
yeah. So in the assumption context, typically, if the buyer has their own VA eligibility, then they can substitute it for the sellers. So if you've got a VA,
They have it in certain circumstances, but that's the only, like, they have to have VA eligibility to even assume it. So they couldn't assume it if they did in any way. They have to have VA eligibility because it's a VA loan. They can't just assume it if they're not VA eligible. Now with their entitlement, there is an amount there. So if, let's say that they've maxed their amount by assuming this loan, when they assume it and they've maxed their amount with their VA loan, then theirs is maxed too. It can only be up to whatever their amount is. The other portion of this is when you assume a loan, let's say that the loan is 200,000. The house is for sale for 300,000. You assume the $200,000 loan, but then you've got to figure out how to get that other 100,000. It's not always that easy. To try to get a loan on it, that 100,000 is actually really, really difficult. So if they have the funds, that's great. But to get a second loan on top of that one is almost impossible. So in fact, one of the loan officers saying you just can't. But that's just with any assumption. And I've seen it done. I know you can without VA. I've seen it without VA. But I don't know if Craig, and with VA, can you guys do a second one? Okay, he hasn't. So that's not, it's literally an investor that's going to put up the money. Well, yeah, much higher rate. But again, it's really, really hard. So just be careful on that. And Jen said, thanks, that makes sense. Thank you so much, Austin. So go ahead, Austin. I just wanted to make sure I got that out there.
Yeah, no. So that's it. I mean, it just basically, you want to make sure that obviously you want to have your sellers with the eyes wide open. I mean, that's the assumption context is going to be better for a seller. The subject to deal oftentimes going to be better for a buyer. They're going to be able to basically take over, get financing, use somebody else's money for the purchase of property at that preferred rate, something better than what they're going to be able to obtain in the open market. So very risky deals for the sellers, but obviously sometimes that's just kind of the way it is. There's no other options for them. They don't want to, they can't sell, they can't afford to sell. They can't rent it for whatever reason, or maybe they don't have the bandwidth to handle that. So they're instead looking at these sort of creative financing deals that, can often be very risky. So, definitely let us know, get in contact with us so we can take a look at the contract and try to at least put them in as equal ground as possible, under those circumstances. Obviously we'll do the best we can to get them in good shape there, but that's it really. Just make sure you're explaining the risks to them, put them in touch with us so that we can explain the risks. And that's kind of my thinking on that. So any questions? Uh-oh. I can't hear anything now.
Can you hear now, Austin?
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay. Jen said, thank you again. And I was just saying, if there's anything that anybody has that they want to ask you a question about that's not about this, we do have a few minutes. So is there anything online? Anybody have any questions there? There's nobody here in the room that has any. So I just wanted to see if you guys had any there.
Beautiful.
And it doesn't look like it. All right. Well, Austin, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys.
You guys are doing a great job with all the closings. I was looking at last month whenever we had the report, and we are at a 90% usage of Jones Walker and Lake. So that's pretty awesome, guys. Yeah. And they have really done everything to help us out. So that's a really, really high. Just so you know, most brokerages that require it are usually only at 80%. Like, we don't require it. We highly suggest that you use them because they're awesome and answer your questions and give you a lot of things that other, closing companies wouldn't. And we also suggest using an attorney to close, but we never make you. use our vendors. So having 90% just says a lot about you guys there, Austin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and then we also have North Carolina now too, which has been awesome. Jordan, how was that with the transaction? Uh-huh. Okay, she said it was super easy. Have you done one too? Okay, all right. So we've got 2 now with you guys, Austin, that we've already done.
It's been amazing.
That's what I just heard. Sandra's a beast. I don't know if Sandra's on here to hear that,
That's
but
excellent.
Sandra, you're a beast.
I'll let her know.
I made her
Me too.
very aware of it at my last closing with her. I sat next to her. I was like, "You are a beast. I just want you to know that." And she giggled and laughed and said, "Thank you."
She's in North Carolina. Sandra too. Look at that. Okay, we are very happy with Sandra then, it sounds like. That's great. All right. Thank you, Austin and Sandra and Susan and everybody else there. So is Susan on here, Austin?
I don't see her, but I'm on my phone. So
All right, we'll tell her we love her and we miss her.
I will. All right.
All right. Thanks, Austin.
See you guys.
How's everybody doing?
Right.
Doing good? Stand here.
Yeah, you missed the instructions because you were late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, couple things. One, I want to say, I don't know if Austin's still on here, but Joe's Walker Lake is great. I send them any of my referrals of people that are subject to, or I had a guy is trying to break into wholesaling. And he said, "Do you have a great settlement, this and that?" You know, yes, absolutely. Use Joe's Walker Lake because I deal with, I don't know, maybe 6 different law firms and a couple different settlement companies, and they are by far the best that I deal with, personally. I know that another friend of mine that used a different law firm, he's actually firing his processor right now to go to a different processor because he had one transaction with Joe's Walker Lake and loved him so much and realized that the other processor wasn't good. The other one. Anyway, I digress. We have an event coming up tomorrow. I think that it's sold out. It's with Prosper. So the reason why I bring it up, it is sold out. It's a CE class hosted by Prosper and AFN. I bring it up because we are always trying to do things to help you get free CE with myself or our team and Prosper as well. Since Sarah's here in the room, say thank you very much for always partnering with us.
Is it virtual too?
It's at Gather, but I think, no, it's not virtual, but it's a free CE class. So
Are we
I say-
allowed to have it virtual for our office if we don't take the CE? Since it's sold out?
I don't know who's like setting up the.
Oh, it's not
stuff.
you.
Yeah, I'm not setting up. the stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm just there to teach it.
So I know you gotta have
Yeah.
your face on there, so I'm just wondering if you had it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind,
So-
sorry. You know, I'm always pushing to get our
Yeah.
office.
So I say that and keep an eye out on the things that we post and, all the things that I'm tagged in and all like that. And,
Add it
try to
to
share
our
with you all.
Facebook. You guys can always add that to the Facebook events, or you could just send it to me and I'll add it that way. It goes out every week and then we'll get it.
Perfect. So thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Other than that, we don't have a whole lot on the horizon because the holidays are coming up. I do have something planned in January, towards the end of January at Gather, and it's going to be a great class for self-employed borrowers, including yourselves as real estate agents. I partnered with Leland Gross, who's a financial advisor / tax preparer. He actually does the financials for Hurrah as well, so he's very trusted in the Realtor Association. So keep an eye out for that. I will be posting that. Like I think it's the last Wednesday of January, I believe, but I will be posting that in the Coastal Town stuff coming up too. Last things last, I guess rates, we all know rates went in the good direction for us last week. So I'm sure Bill probably wants to mention something about that. So I'll leave that to him. I don't want to steal all the shine just because I'm first. But I did want to share something with you. I have a couple mortgage coaches, as you know, and I encourage you, if you're new in the business or even been in the business for 10 years, and if you've never had a coach, please get one, just to try out, because it will help you learn and help you keep accountable of yourself. You can get some that aren't expensive, but you are so lucky here if you are new, because you have so many great mentors that have been in the industry and understand the business. So I'm going to share this with you that my mortgage coach shared with me the other day. It says, go into Mondays like Tuesdays, Sunday night ritual, review, preview, prepare. That's really important, because if you wait till Monday to do these things, you've already missed the boat potentially, right? Second thing, time block everything, personal and professional. I work by a calendar, as I'm sure most of you do. If you do not, your day will be a lot more effective if you can kind of time block and get these things, in line. Activities that matter, marketing, sales, and operations. Operations doesn't really work for you all as much, but marketing and sales definitely does, right? Because marketing drives business. We can all understand that. I'm a huge pusher of marketing and marketing driving business. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there to your sphere, to your family, to your friends, and your past clients. I know a lot of you, I know Jordan was in here talking about past clients the other day. If you don't have a way to keep in touch with your past clients, ask Jordan. She knows the way. Because she was talking about it the other day. She was great. For those of you that didn't get a chance to come to Stump the Broker, that's pretty much it. Prepare like a pro, perform like a pro. That's proof's in the pudding, right? I teach the kids that I coach baseball to, practice like you play how you practice. It's very similar to that. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Craig. Thanks. I did want to tell you guys, you can come up here, Bill. So I did want to tell you guys that we're sending out two, they're shells, basically. It's a shell of a marketing ad that can go on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. We're sending 2 out every week. All you have to do is add your name, email, phone number, add your picture if you want. You can just use a stock photo if you want. Well, thank you. I'm the one who is actually doing that. So Maria is assisting me in things, but right now I like to try to find that, and I'm using AI to find it. So I am typing in certain things and using AI and letting it create it, and then adjusting, of course, with color and whatnot. Canva now, if you have the pro version, actually lets you put your logo and everything in with AI. So they always had it before, but now they have it with AI. So it just automatically just pops it right in there, and it makes me so happy. So I'm sending those out. Well, Maria's sending those out via text, email, and then on Facebook. But if you guys want to see more of something, just text me, because I need feedback. Like if you thought, oh gosh, that was too hard to maneuver. Oh my gosh, I really love this one. Like good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter. Because I need to adjust it to you guys. Yes. She's saying this Thursday's marketing class, she's actually going to go over how to update those and be able to go through a few of them so that you guys can see how to do it. So make sure you join in person or virtually. In person gets you one-on-one questioning that can really be helpful, hands-on answering. And virtually, obviously it's recorded. You can always see that later, but in person is always best for these type of things, because you can come to your computer and kind of set up and show you how to do that. It is a wonderful thing that we're bringing to you as something that we are trying to up what we give you guys for marketing, so that you don't have to really think. It's basically just, I literally say post, like just post and play. Like it's usually plug and play, but just like post and play, like it's super easy. And again, if you can't do it, that's when you have to reach out, because I'll even have a one-on-one with you to show you how, because I want you to market more, right? And then with that being said, I'm also adding now, I just found out how to do this yesterday. I guess I always knew how to do it. I just figured out how to do it with the logo and everything. It's going to be one link, and we're just going to keep adding to it. And then that way it's all in there. That's what I do with mine anyway. But now I was able to figure it out how to share it and be able to do it. And so each week it's going to come out, but it's going to have the previous ones in there too. So now it's all going to be in one link that you can go back to anytime. And you don't have to have Canva Pro in order to do it. When I share the link with you, you actually, because I have Canva Pro, I'm giving it to you through so you do not have to purchase that at all. I don't have a slide for that. I don't have a slide for that, but I did want to say that because we had a couple people come in and they were just super excited about it. And so I wanted to go through it a little bit more. We're going to try to do 2 a week, if not more, just so you guys can have it during holidays. We're going to have, ones for holidays. I'm getting ready to push out a Thanksgiving one for you guys. We'll have one for Christmas. And then Bill, I'll turn it over to you. Sorry, I took a little bit of your time.
This is your show.
I appreciate you standing there waiting on me to finish. There you go.
Well, good morning, everybody. Couple things. Who would turn down an extra 2 deals a month? Anybody in this room? What if I told you it's going to cost you 45 minutes? Just have that same conversation with 4 junior learners.
Did you just say if it cost me
45 minutes.
45 minutes of my time
3 times a week.
3 times a week, would I turn down a lead? Is that what you
Turn
said?
down 2 deals a month.
No,
Because I just did that with 4 junior loan officers last week.
you turned down.
No, I taught them how to go.
Oh, I was like, why
And
would
it
you do
only
that?
Took 45
I gotcha.
minutes total.
Wow.
So what they did was exactly what Thomasina has been preaching and other people have been preaching for the last 3 to 4 months. They got on something called cell phone and they made phone calls. And I coached them with the scripts. And so I'm bringing this up, so I'm trying to encourage you, even though the market is in one of the world's fluxes that we've ever seen, there is business out there. And so as loan officers, what we've done is we've gone after, and we're doing a lot of cash out refis, right? But people are like, why are you refining 3.5% interest rate? Because they have $48,000 and they're paying 24% interest rate. So when you do the overall average, they're getting themselves and saving themselves like $1,000 a month. Well, the same thing we're doing, right, we just started this week, is doing our leads from the last 2 years that did not do a contract. And we're following up with it, and we're starting to get people to start filling out apps. We have 3 apps that have just been filled out since last week. That were old leads that just we assumed were dead. So what I'm trying to encourage you is get to your databases, go to those old leads that you think are dead, and start making those phone calls. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, do an hour. 5 calls. You do 5 calls a day, I promise you, you're gonna get the results. So I'm just, that was to encourage you, because we actually did it from a loan perspective, it worked. I know you guys can look from a real estate perspective, because you guys are bars at hand at those brokerages. So you guys are rock stars. Second thing, rates are getting better. We haven't seen rates like this since September. You talk to one expert, they say it's gonna continue. You talk to another expert, they're not sure. The way, bottom line is rates are better, right? What are the rates? It depends on the client. So when you are having conversations, don't quote rates, just quote the perspective that they're better. This is a good time to be shopping. Let me get you connected to one of our lenders here, and they will talk to you. Let us do the talking about the rates, but they are better. We can talk about rates are better. Because everybody's situation, and Craig will attest, depends on the person. Every person. And loan program, and how much down payment, and. But the bottom line is, you don't need to know all that. Don't try to be the expert in loans. Rates are better. Let's go shopping. Let's get you a hold of a lender. Let's get excited. Let's go. We, and just like I am sure many of the other, I know Jess and Craig, we all have opened up the non-QM world abundantly at all of our loan companies. So things that may not work before, those products are now available. So somebody that may not qualified 4 months ago, 5 months ago, may qualify now because the investors are getting rid of overlays. The rest of the investors are changing overlays or none or requirements because they want business. And then loans are moving, like we just closed 2 loans in 12 days. Normal loan, no rushes. The clients had their documents, we pushed them through, with the processing, underwriting, got it back, 12 days, cleared books. We have to wait 5 more days before we can do the final verification of employment because we closed too early. But those are good problems to have. So right now, people are worried about getting closed before the end of the month. I guarantee you, Craig and I and Jess can close before the end of the month to get it done. Go get it. Let's go get it. As long as the client qualifies, right? They have to qualify and they have to be ready for the documents. Hey, let's go. There is no business like slow. All right, so just remember, and the thing is resources. That's just use your resources. I can look around, I've gotten at least 5 phone calls from people in this room about loans that we're not buying, that just need information. Use this. We're here to assist you, whether it's our deal or not our deal, we're your partners. And we're here to make sure you're making money so you can eventually make money. It's a mutual family relationship. So thank you very much for all your partnership this year, and I'm handing it back to Ms. Thomasina.
All right, thank you so much. So we actually have Sarah up next from Prosper. We have to get a new logo. New logo.
Well, just working on it.
Yeah. Okay, so she's got some exciting news. I'm super excited. I think that what she's getting ready to tell you is going to change a lot. Follow directions so well. Always have, always will.
It's true.
Over or.
Exactly.
You always follow directions. It's truly follow directions. So, I'm super excited about this announcement that she's getting ready to make. It will, increase what we get to do with her, and I'm going to hand the mic over to her, but I'm so excited. So
Thank you, Thomasina. Wow, she's really building it up for me.
I'm super excited about it for
The
you.
News is Prosper has decided to merge with another insurance company, a larger insurance
Yes.
company that will give us the opportunity and additional resources for you and your clients. What exactly does that mean? That basically is gonna open this up in many more states. We are currently like, the southeast, mid-Atlantic region is the vision and goals really align. So it was really a no-brainer for us. This will give us access to additional insurance providers, in Washington, but also across the US, so we can continue providing the best, service for your clients, providing them with the best policy and at the best rates. Everybody's like, well, how does this really impact me? Nothing is really gonna change on your end and how you deal with our agents. Our sales agents are still gonna be working out of the Prosper office in Virginia Beach. We're keeping our office. They're still gonna be doing the exact same thing, working diligently for you and for your clients. Our name will eventually change, which is why Thomasina said we will need a new logo. I don't know exactly when the name change is gonna happen, but it will. We're still gonna continue planting a tree for every policy we write, so nothing is really changing.
I just love the
from
fact that the
outset.
people that you're
I know.
partnering with, one, they're bigger, so that just makes you double, triple, really.
Yeah,
But the fact that their name goes with what you guys do,
It's
like when
like
you go to their
perfect.
office, you like have to walk through the forest, just so you know. So you like
Yeah.
walk through the forest. They have a beautiful space there that they've opened up to us to be able to use at any time. And well, that's available. But you like walk through the forest. And so to be with Green Tree, Evertree, sorry, I keep saying Green Tree. I keep saying that over and over, Green Tree.
Like a dark green.
Because I think
or-
evergreen, and so I keep
Right,
saying green tree,
exactly.
but Evertree, to be with them, and then like the whole office is already like set up.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. It's really great. And everybody always worries about this in a merger, like, are you gonna lose people or people getting fired? Well, Prosper is actually larger than Evertree, so they're really excited and eager to work with us because they're plugging into our HR department. They're plugging into our marketing department, departments they didn't have before. So it really is, we're like doubling in size, but everybody gets to stay where they are, and we're just gonna have additional resources. So I'm really excited about it. All of our agents are really excited about it, and I want you all to be excited about it too, because it's not gonna impact you in a negative way at all. It's just gonna, like I said, give us the resources to continue providing that amazing service to you and your clients. Any questions about that? No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Thank you. A couple of things. I did a training 2 weeks ago, I believe. It's on the YouTube channel on the state of the insurance industry right now. If you have a chance to go watch it, there's a lot of really great informative information. It's about 30-40 minutes. It's not even a full hour, but just really good information for you to take away of kind of what's going on in the insurance industry right now, why premiums are high, specifically for auto insurance. We delve into that, and what's going on with some insurance carriers across the country as well. So just really good information. Yes, Cragen.
So I had a client recently that was trying to max budget of what they were. So I reached out to Brandon from Prosper, gave him the property address on the offer they were trying to make, and said, are we in the window? Because it's a brick home in an area where I knew that rates were higher in that area real quick. So, and Brandon was super great about getting back to me within like an hour or so and saying,
Good.
this is as low as the premium we can get on this home.
Right.
The brick home and all the things, because I know premiums are up and when people are shopping at their max budget, I don't wanna go write them a pre-approval.
Well, it could make or break a deal.
$20 is $20, literally. If I quote them at
Yeah.
150 and it's 160, they may not qualify anymore without buying an
Right.
upgrade, so.
Yeah, utilize us, reach out to us, ask us these questions. We don't mind doing a little, little research on the front end in order to keep this from impacting, later in the game. We want to have all the information upfront, so we can definitely do that. And if you're working within a really tight ratio, just let us know what that ratio is, and we can do some creative work with that. And then the last thing I want to talk about, I just posted this in the Coastal Town Family Facebook group. We are Prosper, powered by Evertree, is is hosting a virtual workshop on 2024 power planning. Speaking to what Cragen was talking about earlier of working with a coach. So Prosper has partnered with a mortgage coach named Bill Treadwell. He's also a real estate coach, so he does both mortgage and real estate. He's been in the business for over 15 years and just, he really knows his stuff, and Cragen can attest to this. We've talked with Bill, met him in person, worked with him, attended webinars that we've had, and we typically have just done it for our loan officer partners, but we're opening up this 2024 power planning session for our realtor partners and our loan officer partners. It's virtual, so it won't get sold out. And basically what it's gonna do is just equip you with the strategies you need to propel yourself in 2024, achieve your goals in this like ever evolving, ever changing market. So it's gonna go over business planning, daily activities, and I think some like strategizing. It's an hour and a half long, it's 90 minutes, so it's Wednesday, December 6th from 11:30 until 1. You've got to register online to get the link because it is via Zoom. So just hop into the Facebook page, go online and click the link to register. And then, Zoom will send you the thing to put on your calendar. But Phil is really flipping awesome and has, like I said, been in this industry a long time and gives you really tactical, strategies and pieces of advice that are easy to apply. So I really hope you all can be there for it.
I wanted to mention
Yeah.
too, about Phil. He's one of the best up and coming mortgage coaches and business, real estate coaches around. He actually just, got, brought in. He's being brought in by Barry Habib from MBS Highway, which Barry Habib, for those of you who do not know, MBS Highway, it's like the #1 mortgage. What do you call that, Bill? What would you call MBS Highway? Like, it's like #1 mortgage resource for us loan officers. If a loan officer in Hampton Roads does not use MBS Highway, I like to meet him and know what they're using because it's what we all use. I don't care. You insert whatever company.
So is
you
it
want
like
to go to.
MLS to us? Like we all have to use one thing?
No, it's a resource.
A resource, a coaching resource, a factual resource, and
Yeah.
data.
And I say this, and I just posted it the other day. I saw Phil is coming on and being hosted by Barry and his team. And I was like, oh my God. So I screenshot it and posted it because Phil is actually one of my coaches that I have. And I'm like, I was so excited for him. Can you imagine your coach being put on a national platform in front of thousands of loan officers? Like, that's amazing. And that's why I wanted to just step in on that and say
Thank you.
how great Phil is. And I highly encourage you to come to what she's selling, whatever Phil's doing,
Right.
because he is literally that good. I see a lot of people and know a lot of people, met a lot of people. Phil has it. Very
Thank you,
good.
Cragen. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. He really is awesome. This is free to you all. Because of our partnership with Phil, this is something that would cost a ton of money if you were doing it on your own. So please take advantage of it. It can only help you. And it's just 90 minutes of your time on December 6th. And I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you all next month for the holiday party.
I'm excited about that. Yes.
Building contest. That'll be a lot of fun. So thank you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sarah. That's awesome. Congratulations. I was seeing if I don't see Tina on here. Tina, are you on here? Okay, I don't think she's on here. All right, award ceremony results. Here we go. So Midas Touch, 48%. So that is what our award ceremony is going to be. It'll be gold, all gold, Midas Touch. Super excited about that. And again, that is going to be March 23rd, and it will be at Sweetwater, which is off of Virginia Beach Boulevard. Yeah, I know, right? I'm excited, super excited about that. I did want to show you as well. Let me pull it up here. So just so you know, we have no idea whenever these surveys are sent, but I wanted you to see this. So this is a few things that you guys loved. So it's really hard for me to do this. Coastal Town has an incredible culture. The music was fun and raunchy, which I think is funny because they're giving us a compliment. The pics were amazing. Drinks and food, A1, food and drinks. I know, it's so funny. Everything, being able to attend. They like the family atmosphere, seeing everyone, the theme, everything. What does that say? The venue. Somebody said they couldn't attend. Everything. I mean, everybody was just so sweet. Location, the food and DJ. Love the food, the music. Everybody loved the music, the food, and the drinks. The food, whiskey, the top producers bar. Hard to pick just one. The venue, loved last year's DJ and theme each time, and the food. Okay, things that you guys want to see improve. The reason I'm showing you this so you can see, one, we have no idea who says anything. So whenever I tell you that it's anonymous, it's freaking anonymous. So you can write whatever you want. I like things like that because then people can be real without thinking they're getting judged. Okay, so things you want to see change. Nothing. More fun superlative awards. Most likely to swear in church. Most likely to get into a fight with a wild animal. More drinks. It was an open bar. I don't know how to. Maybe I'm wondering if they meant though like more different kinds of drinks, but they could ask for whatever they wanted, or maybe they wanted more themed drinks. Maybe, I don't know. I'd like to know, whoever put that, I'd like to know more about what you were thinking. Venue with better parking. There was a huge parking lot. Yeah, so I think maybe nobody knew, or that person didn't know. Okay. Yeah, there's a huge parking lot on the side that we sent out telling everybody they could use. Yeah. When you put it in GPS, it takes you back. Gotcha. Okay, but I'll maybe put a picture out this time instead of just texting it. It is awesome. Less alcohol, better music, no VIP separation. That was the only one that was a little bit different. Everybody else loving it. So unfortunately, well, because we had so many of them, people like it. That one will have to. Unfortunately, that's not going to get that one's not going to be requested. We are not having a VIP separation this year, so that is something that is going to be requested. But the other two, everybody wants more music and more alcohol. More agents attending. I agree. Definitely more agents attending. More people showing up, and those showing up not bitching about an event that didn't participate anyway in making or show up to shit else all year. Well, someone's real upset they're showing up to everything and nobody else is. So y'all need to show up. Wasn't last rewards. Nothing needs change. See, I love this because I have no idea who wrote that, but they got to get it out. No change. I would like to hear from top agents or new agents about their year. I really like that a lot. Nothing I can think of. The VIP area was nice, but it made things a little separated. No complaints. Not that it's not, now that it's not a gather. Too hard to pack. Oh, to pick just one. I love for people to not complain if they didn't help organize. Okay, we have a few of those. Honestly, can't think of anything. Both years I've attended have been great. The music, not so loud. And I don't think we necessarily need a VIP. Yeah, we're not doing the VIP again. And then none. So that is, put this down. That is your feedback, and we heard you, and we are going to make sure that we abide by as much as we can. It's a little hard. We take the majority of it though. It's a little hard if one is different than the rest, but we do take the majority. And I have somehow lost your presentation, but we're going to get it back up here in a second. Just give me one moment. Let's interview present. Sorry about that. We'll enter full screen mode again. Okay. All right, next is dues. So dues are due January 31st. I would wait till the very end of January 31st to pay them. Let's see what shakes out with everything. As a reminder, look on your bill. Not everything on there is what you have to pay. Some things are elective. But I would wait until the end of January. Let's see what shakes out with everything that's going on in the news. If you've been to Stump the Broker, you know that we've been talking about that extensively and how we're going to help you get through that if things do change, which it looks like it will in our industry. We're not going to go too much into it, but I would wait on that one. And then we have admin's agenda. So the first thing I want to tell you is Carla's going to be going on vacation. She's going on vacation the last week of November. And she's going to be gone that whole week. Lucy is going to be taking over for inputting listings and doing your DAs. And then I've got the rest, but I need you to understand this. Excuse me. Make sure that you're getting your listings in by noon so that she has plenty of time. She has to review them and put them in. So it's the last week in November. Make sure that you get those in by noon. That gives her a good 3 hours to get them in and be able to finish out the day with everything else too. But get your listings in by noon to her. So in the same way, everything's going to be the same way. She's going to be able to look at everything in Carla's email and all of that. So that'll be good. But we definitely need you to make sure that you get those in. And it's going to take her a little longer to review. That's going to take her a little longer to go through that listing, you know, because she's got to do double work. So just FYI, everything will get done, but I just want to give you an FYI. All right, you can. There you go. You're welcome.
Okay, so be nice to Lucy. She's learning a lot this week and a little bit next week. To cover nice to Lucy. Lucy won't be nice to you. As a reminder for your listing, Ray will allow you to do the paperwork and have it signed up to 30 days before the listing. So you do not have to wait till the listing day or the day before. You can fill it all out, put the date you want it listed and have everything signed, including the disclosures, and have it all ready to go. That always helps us out so we can get them in saved as incomplete. They're ready for you to review and upload your photos. So the day you want it to go live, it's a couple clicks of a button and you're good to go. Listing changes, make sure you do those on the listing change form. That covers everything from expiration date, price, comments that you want to change, anything like that. So always make sure you get those turned in. And I would make sure to let Lucy know that you've submitted that. Just to bring it up on her attention. You all been really busy and turned in a lot of contracts. So it's a lot going on, which is great. Next week is a short week for us because of Thanksgiving holiday. The office will be open Monday and Tuesday, regular hours. Wednesday, we close at noon. So anything you need done Wednesday, get it to me early, because 12 o'clock, I'm gone. And then we're closed Thursday and Friday. Any questions for me? Okay.
Oh, good for you. All right, Lucy, come on up.
For those of you in the back who didn't hear,
or maybe we were on mute.
Carla's gonna be out the week after Thanksgiving. Lucy is not Carla. Lucy doesn't have to be quite as nice as Carla.
This is what I call Lucy going Lucy.
Yeah, don't make me go Lucy on you, okay? Seriously, I'm not giving up any of my regular job duties, titles, things to help out with Carla. Carla is disconnecting completely. Don't text her, don't call her, don't send dolphins, don't send smoke signals, don't send carrier pigeons.
Oh my gosh.
She's not gonna answer. And she'll shoot your pigeons out of the air. Okay? She's going on vacation.
Oh my gosh, I gotta make a new slide that says loosey goosey so that we're prepared for that Lucy.
So,
She'll shoot your pigeons.
on the flip side, we're all gonna get through that week together. We're gonna hold hands, we're gonna be nice, we're gonna get things done. And you're gonna give me plenty of time to take care of the things you need taken care of. Okay?
Okie
All good.
dokie.
With Brokerment, just know that I do not know how to work the agent facing side of Brokerment. So either get with Carla this week about what you have issues with, or learn how to click on the little need help button at the bottom of the page.
Yeah, and if that fails, then there's us and the collaborators. There's me and the collaborators, so.
Thomasina collaborators. I do not know how the.
She doesn't have
agent
access to
facing
it.
side
She
works.
can't do it even if she wanted to. Yes,
I don't understand. Yes.
yes.
and Instanet. Then transport it to Brokerman for signature, but it allows you to upload it directly from Instanet instead of having key in every
So for those of you who can't hear,
time.
if you can't hear what was said, it's been recommended that you do your data input sheet in Instanet, which I have yet to, even open. So again, be kind. If you do your data input sheet in Instanet, then it allows whoever's doing the listing input to import that data directly and not have to fill in every single blank on the 6 pages of data. Okay? Love you all.
I will be too.
Okay.
Oh, or you have more.
No, I'm done. I have a book. Also with Brokerman, in my little training session with Carla, I figured out how difficult it is to find your transactions. When you start them with your buyer's name,
Mm,
put a contract in and don't change it to the property address.
oh,
Could we do that, please?
yeah, if it,
Because I,
so when you put it in, so let's say that you have a buyer, you put it in as John Buyer, right? Because you have to upload the broker, buyer broker. Then when they find a house, they're not going back and putting 123 B Street. They're leaving it John Buyer. And then the contract comes in and no one can find a dang thing.
let's not make it more challenging for Lucy, okay?
Okay.
The other thing is when you have referrals. You know, before you ever go shopping or go to the listing appointment, that you have a referral in place. I want to clarify, an incoming referral means that it came from an office outside of ours to this office, and we are paying out the referral. It's not an outgoing referral because we're paying them money. I get how that.
It's how the referral got to us. It's
Yeah,
either
it's
coming
in
in or we're pushing it out, right?
So if it comes in, you need to make sure you get the W-9 from that brokerage who sent you the referral. And that all needs to be loaded up. Consider it like your buyer brokerage stuff. That needs to be like the first thing you load up. Start your transaction with that referral, because it gets really complicated and confusing if we have to go back after we think we've done all the math and are ready to pay you guys, and you come back at the last minute and go, oh, but I forgot, there's a referral and this isn't really all my money. Or, God forbid, we pay you and you have to give the money back. That's a shock.
Yeah, that would,
That's painful.
that's very
I'd
painful.
rather go have a root canal.
Yeah.
And give money back.
That's rough.
So,
That you already spent in most
yeah,
cases.
so make sure your referrals, and if it's an outgoing referral, that means you have sent it to another brokerage
Mhm.
and we're going to get money in. We still need that information,
I think we need new batteries, but okay,
and
go ahead.
we still need that information in Brokerman because random check shows up with no information. Surprise, we're going partying on your money. Because we don't know where it belongs.
Yeah.
Okay, as far as the compliance stuff goes, things are going pretty well. It's going- Yeah, there are things, of course, still needing correction. Everybody's doing pretty well on getting those corrections done before closing happens, which makes me happy. Does anybody have any questions for me now that I've had my little rant?
No. Oh. I don't know. It went away. Nope. Everybody's good online.
Okay, be nice to Lucy.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have a couple more things I'm gonna tell you about. One, we just purchased with Brokerment the ability for us to have everything load into Brokerment. They actually, Rain allowed them to finally get hooked up. I know. But, the only reason I'm telling you this now, because it's not in there yet, I've already paid for it, but it's not in there yet, is because David mentioned how easy it was in Incident. That's what's going to happen in Brokerment. It's all going to pre-fill. So, yeah, we signed it, we paid for it, super excited about it, just waiting for Rain to hit the button. I don't know, I'm gonna go to a training, but whenever I do the training, I'm going to send it out if anybody else wants it, and I'm also gonna record it. That way we know, because me and Carla will be sitting down to go through all that, and if anybody wants to come, we can put it up on the big screen just to see and ask questions, make sure we get it all. It was a pretty penny, so we had to pay per agent. But again, we want to make sure that we're trying to get that the minute that they offered it, we were like, yes, we want that. So that's supposed to be going through, hopefully, I'm gonna say the next 30 days, I'm hoping in like a week that it's gonna go through though, which would be amazing. So we have that coming up, and then again, if you have anything that you want to see as far as marketing or anything, make sure that I'm just a reminder, make sure that you email and let me know. And then we have our Christmas party, which is December 19th. So make sure you go on and RSVP on our Facebook. That's how we do it. You are allowed to bring a +1, of course, just like you did for the fall party. We're doing gingerbread houses, and there's going to be a contest with all kinds of things. I think Lucy's not here, so wide open for first spot. I'll tell you now, and anyone who's in Sumter Broker 102, same as fall. If you bring outside items, you're hearing it here. I'm not posting about it. I'm just telling people in the meeting and at Sumter Broker that you can bring outside items to make your house amazing. If you do not, this is something added, if you do not want your house to already be pre-built, you just have to let us know, and I'll keep it not built. You could just build it from scratch, because some people may want to cut it up or whatever. But if not, we're gonna have them pre-built just like we did before, and you can decorate them because it's the decorating that counts. And we're gonna go around and we're gonna do videos like we usually do and post those. Please, 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 if you do bring children and you do not want them in any video, just make sure that you let the person who's videoing know. That's perfectly fine. I don't like children being on the internet anyway. So just let the person know, hey, sorry, we don't do that. I had talked to multiple people who were videoing, and everybody was totally cool with that. So just make sure you say that. I just want to make sure people who are bringing their children are okay, with all that. And then we have our video to go through. So here we go. Oh shoot, I got double played. I know it's double play for some reason. Well, we're just gonna go back to the beginning. Oh. Well. Hold on one second, people online. For some reason, it went a little wonky there when we went to present it. I think it just decided it was going to, I don't know, be a little strange. So give us one moment and we're going to play the video, because it has all of our events and it has the top agents along with, yeah, it just completely disappeared. Interesting. One moment, guys. We'll just play it's in the beginning too. So we'll go ahead and play that. Let me present it over there so that you guys can see. That was weird. I don't know why it dropped. See how it's like lagging or something? I wonder if it's the
Blame it on the jet.
oh. We do have a jet flying, so I think it might just be that. That's okay. Give us a moment here. so, in the back. Huge round of applause for all these guys. Huge round of applause. Huge round of applause for everybody. This is awesome. You guys had a wonderful, wonderful October. Tons of listing, closing, a lot of under contract. Everybody did a really, really great job for October. Congratulations, Carly and Tara. Tina Hall. Congratulations, teams and agents of the month. Great job. $1 Million Club, Tara and Manesh Nikita Holmes. Big rounds of applause. Oh. All right, congratulations, everybody. I do have, for some reason, I don't know why, but the end cut off pretty quickly there. But I do want to tell you all that you had a wonderful October. November is really starting to line up as well, which usually November and December we slow down a little bit, but it's starting to line up. We're getting a lot more in. As a reminder, we do post any listed, under contract, or sold for you. We boost it as well. And so that goes out and just pumps up your marketing. Make sure you share all of that if you can. It helps you. It has your info on it. And it'll hopefully get you some more. Anyone have any questions or anything else before we go? Let me just check online to make sure there's none there. All right, that's it. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful November and a happy Thanksgiving. And if we don't see you before the end, we will see you in December. Bye.